Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mohammed Danzo, and today I'm going to what is the talk status about of patient, what is the status of when it comes to being a leader. So patience can be defined as the quality of being capable of bearing afflictions calmly, enduring difficulties and hardship while preparing to act. So these two quotes here will give us a more better understanding of exactly what patience is. The first one is that patience is not simply the ability to wait; it's how we behave while we're waiting. How are our reactions while we're waiting? The next one is that the key to everything is patience. You get the chicken by hatching the egg, not by smashing it. Meaning that you need order, you need time for patience to develop. So some may look at patience as a weakness or inability, and this is actually very wrong. Because with patience, you'll find out that you gain a lot of great benefits from it. Not only for yourself, but for the people around you. So here are just 8 qualities I was able to gather from my search, and that are granted to people who actually have patience. What patience builds in a leader? The first is purpose. Patience give you an understanding of what is being sought. You know, sticking to it and keeping the long term goal in mind. When you're patient, you know what you're looking for, and you're able to work your way to your final goal. The next point is what? Approachability. When you're a patient leader, you know your co-workers and the people who work under you, they won't be afraid to come to you. You're one that they see as somebody is open to change, understand the value of being accessible, shows a great listening skill. Tolerance. You don't let the differences at work affect you. You learn to work in discomfort, and you help manage stress easier. Next is independence. Patience with their own ability, meaning that you learn how to be satisfied with what you have and what you know, and also you learn how to rely on this on things that you don't on things that you yourself cannot do. That is true independence. When you're okay with just saying that yes, this is my limit, and being able to rely on others to do what they're able to do. Next one is empathy. You know, the ability to experience and relate to the thoughts and emotions and experience of others. Signs of maturity. You'll be able to find ways to connect with others based on the same difficulty, and you'll provide a positive outlook. And you'll become that nurturing nature will develop in you. You'll have that care and compassion, overlook the mistakes of your coworkers, and instill in them confidence that plans will be successful. Allow the development of the late bloomer, the one who he's not getting the plan as easy as everybody else. But the fact that you're patient and you're taking time to teach them, it makes it easier for them and you. Then is confidence, which is just the ability to just be cool and relaxed, and endurance, ability to just be constant. So now that we see the fruits of patience, it's a must now to know how can we become a patient leader. The first is see through the lens of others, meaning that you must be objective enough to step back and remove yourself from personal opinions. See the bigger picture and help employees connect the dots towards an eventual solution. So what this means is that you have to take that pressure of having being the one that is gonna, evaluate everything, being the one that everyone depends on all the time. Sometimes a good leader, a patient leader, is the one who is able to give roles to everybody else and be able to help them bring things together. The next one is evaluate tension points in an unbiased way. Meaning that if you know that there's things, on this project or whatever you're engaged in down the road that is going to become a problem for you and the people you're working with, if it could be personal problems, it could be economic problem, it could be anything. Tackle it early so that by the time you get there, it will be something that you will be able to manage. The third one is listen and act with a positive attitude. You see that the people who freak out the most or throw tantrums when things are not going their way is because they didn't listen to the steps are needed for the plan to go successfully. You have to become a great listener to be a patient person. You have to ask questions as well. You can't be shy to ask questions because that question that you hold back from is probably going to be a problem for you later on. And when something unpleasant takes place, take all the information before you act. Meaning that when when an event that happens and that was not calculated, look at the broad picture, look at everything, and try to look at it from a good situation, so at least it will make it easier on yourself. The fourth is seek perspective from a trusted resource. Do not go into this thinking that you can handle everything by yourself, and that's very hard when you put pressure on your shoulder like that, because that's when things could fall apart very easy. Seek counsel when it comes to problems that are overwhelming for you, and look for a mentor that can add value and a needed perspective. Look for people who actually been through a situation that you're in as a manager or as a leader, and seek their counsel, so that they could be able to direct you, to how to solve it before it even becomes a problem. And the fifth is don't run from responsibility. When a problem that occurs that causes you to grow impatience, look inward before you start blaming others. Look at your faults a little bit. Look at what you could have done early to prevent this. This turns a battle into a quick mutual understanding, meaning that between you or your coworker, or you and another manager, if you're able to look inward, say, okay, maybe if I had done this just a little bit, and then that other person, he will be able to give in a little bit more, and it will become a quick mutual understanding than a battle. Once you make a decision, stick to it and have confidence that it will work. You know, when you're patient, you have confidence, like we stated before. You have confidence that something is gonna work. Be aware that things that will cause problems and take reasonable steps to remove it. So these are just a handful of ways that an individual could gain patience as a leader. As is famously said, patience is a virtue, and this statement is very true. It's not only a virtue in itself, but it leads to other virtues that could put a person in a situation to better himself and others around him. So with patience, you'll see that a leader is able to implement, a leader is able to act, a leader is able to support, a leader is able to become a role model for others around him, because he shows that he's able to handle any challenge that comes his way. So this is what I have to present about patience when it comes to leadership. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.